بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أفضل الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا يا رب العالمين. أما بعد. We have been taking this kitab min Adab al-Islam by Sheikh Abdul Fattah Abu Ghudda rahmatullahi alayhi, and today is the 11th session, I believe. Last week or last session we left off at when entering into the home of the host by beginning with salam, and we went over some of the fada'il and the virtues of salam and how this was the way and the method prescribed by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to increase love amongst one another. Thereafter, the Shaykh continues, when you enter into the majlis and into the room where the people are seated, the number one is a person should try not to separate and sit between two people. From the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that if two people are sitting, then it is not appropriate for a person to sit between the two of them. And it's interesting, in all of these adab we will see, or the upcoming ones, that both parties are being addressed. The person who is approaching the majlis, that person is advised to sit either on the right side or the left side and not to separate or to barge between two people, because this is also against the adab and against the etiquettes and mannerisms. Similarly, the people who are already sitting there, they are also being instructed that they should open up the space and they should welcome a third person to come and make space for them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, إِذَا قِيلَ لَكُمْ تَفَسَّحُوا فِي الْمَجَالِسِ فَافْسَحُوا يَفْسَحِ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. So it is appropriate that a person, if you see that there is not much space and another person is coming, if you are able to, that you make space for that person. And this will also increase love and muhabba between the people, because the person will feel honored that a person is making space for me. The second advice mentioned over here, that if it so happens that two people open up space for you, then sit between them, acknowledge their gesture of kindness to you, and also it is not appropriate that you sit between them in a way that is, for example, sitting down cross-legged, that they have made some space for you, there's already limited space, and now you sit down and mashallah you're taking all of the area and they're being squished to the sides. This is also not appropriate. So both parties are being advised over here. The one who is approaching the majlis, they should also be considerate, and the one who is already sitting in the majlis, they should be welcoming to the one who is joining. Thereafter, the Shaykh continues that if two people are sitting there and they are already engaged in a conversation, and maybe they are engaged in a private conversation, it is not appropriate for a person who is a newcomer into that area to eavesdrop and to indulge or to eavesdrop their conversation. And we can go on a side note from here also, and this is something that we should advise our children when it comes to the mobile phones, to the cell phones, that it is not appropriate for a person to sneak a look at what's going on in the next person's cell phone. Who they are texting, what they are texting, what's going on, this is none of your business, right? And we should also advise our children with regards to this. Children, mashallah, by nature are very curious. And so from a young age, we should instill this habit in them, that it is not appropriate to look into someone's private conversation that is going on. Continuing on that, the ones who are already engaged in the conversation, the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that if three people are together, then two of them should not speak to each other in a way that does not include the third one. For example, if two people speak a similar language and the third one does not, then they should not speak in the language that is particular to them, so this one feels left out. This causes room for speculation, for ill thoughts, for the shaitan to take advantage of that moment. And maybe the person will think they're talking about me, maybe they're gossiping about me, maybe there's something about me that they're discussing, and all kinds of speculation comes into the mind of a person. So it is only appropriate that when three people are together, then they should speak in a way that everyone is able to be included in that conversation, and this will also increase the love and the muhabba between the people as well. So these are some of the adab of sitting in the majlis. These might seem like very minute things and things that are very, very simple, but you will be surprised that so many times we are heedless of these small things. And sometimes these small things cause massive issues. They cause big issues, like this one about not including the third person. That sometimes even if a person doesn't show that they're uncomfortable, in their heart they're not comfortable, and they feel like something is out of place. They feel out of place. They feel awkward, right? And so we can apply this to the masjid as well. That when we are in the masjid, we have a small halaqah going on, or we have a small friend circle that is sitting together and they're discussing something, and a third person or a fourth person comes in that is not part of that conversation. Try to include them. Try to speak in a way that you know that is accommodating for everyone, so that person does not feel left out or they don't feel awkward. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst those who adorn ourselves with husnul akhlaq. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.